Hey guys, if you look at ancient pottery decorations from around the world, you'll see the same color combinations cropping up over and over again in different parts of the world. And the reason for that is that some colors are relatively easy to achieve on pottery, whereas other colors are very, very difficult to achieve. Here in the American Southwest, we see the same 4 colors cropping up over and over again in almost all the decorated pottery. And anything outside of those 4 is either extremely rare or completely non-existent. Today I'm going to show you how to get red, yellow, white, and black designs on your pottery using all natural materials and pigments. Let's start out with the easiest and most common color, red. Every prehistoric culture in the American Southwest made some form of redware, and that is because it was bright and beautiful and relatively easy to achieve. The red in ancient pottery comes from iron, either iron-rich clay or paint made from iron minerals. Naturally occurring iron oxide minerals come in a wide range of colors and forms, from earthy hematite or ochre to hematite stones that can be any color, from bright red to black. Some iron minerals are yellow too, but they all turn red if the pot is fired in an oxygen-rich atmosphere. Some iron minerals, such as ochre and red clay, can be used as is on a pot. But some iron ore can be very hard, requiring a lot of grinding and purifying before it can be used for paint. Now let's discuss the rarest of those 4 colors, yellow. Yellow pottery is not super common in the American Southwest, and most of that there is Hopi yellowware. And the Hopis still make yellow pottery today. The best way to get yellow is with a yellow firing clay. I've never heard of anyone getting yellow from a rock, but I suppose it's possible. Yellow firing clay that I have seen always starts out as gray, sometimes with a very light yellowish or greenish cast. If you're looking for yellow firing clay, then you're in for a challenging clay hunt, because this stuff is about the most rare clay color. Let me take a second to insert a couple of extra and widely seen colors, brown and gray. Brown and gray pottery are everywhere in the archaeological record, across the region. And that is because most clays that tend to be good building clays fire to either brown or gray. So if you're wanting to add those colors to your palette, you shouldn't have too much trouble finding a clay near you that fires to brown or gray. And now we come to the holy grail of colors, white. While white as a color is extremely common in prehistoric pottery, white firing minerals can be extremely hard to locate. The vast majority of white decorations on ancient pottery was achieved with white clay, and the availability of white clay depends greatly on the local geology. The northern Southwest, north of the Mogollon Rim, is composed largely of sedimentary deposits laid down in old seabeds and estuaries millions of years ago. In that area, white clays are more abundant, and that is why Anasazi black-on-white pottery developed in that area. In the southern Southwest, basin and range topography, and very different geology, white clay is extremely rare. Still, that did not seem to dissuade the ancients from making whiteware and white decorated pottery. Over the course of several decades, I have sampled and fired dozens of different white clays from around the southern Southwest, so I can definitely tell you they're out there. But the other thing I need to tell you about that is most of those whites, however rare they are, do not come out of the fire a true white. They come out sort of a creamy or a yellowy or a tannish color. I think it is likely that good white firing clay was a common trade item, so villages far away from sources of white clay could still make white decorated pottery. I think it's likely that some of the white used on ancient pottery, particularly those in the south, was made using white stone minerals, such as caliche mixed with a little light-colored, but not exactly white firing clay. This would account for so many of these pottery types having soft, fugitive whites. There's a lot to learning to make your own pottery paints and slips. This video touches on just one aspect of that is, what minerals fire to what colors. But there's a lot more to it. I have a whole playlist available about natural pottery paints and slips, and you can learn a lot from that. And I'll link that up down in the doobly-doo in case you want to go deeper on making your own pottery paints using natural materials. But if you want to learn the entire process for making your own paints in one place, quickly and easily, I have an online masterclass called Natural Pottery Paint Slips and Pigments, which is a much deeper dive than I could ever go into in a YouTube video. It covers how to prepare the minerals, paint recipes, how to read the colors that you see on ancient pots, and a very useful map with clay locations on it around the Southwest. I'll link that up here on the screen and down in the doobly-doo in case you're interested in that masterclass, Natural Pottery Paint Slips and Pigments. And finally, let's discuss the most complicated color to get, black. Black was a very sought-after color in the ancient Southwest. Just about every culture in the ancient Southwest painted pottery with black designs, but they didn't all use the same materials, so there's a variety of recipes for getting black designs. The first one we'll discuss is reduced iron black. In this process, the pot is painted with red iron oxide paint, just like I discussed earlier in this video when I was talking about red designs. But in this case, the pot is fired in a reduction atmosphere. It's fired in an atmosphere where there's very little oxygen available. And so the oxygen is robbed from that iron and the paint comes out black. Another advantage of this method is that the reduction atmosphere will also keep the white clay from oxidizing, so it will come out of the fire very white, providing maximum contrast between black design and white clay. Another method for achieving black paint from minerals is to use manganese dioxide or copper carbonate in an oxidation atmosphere. Both of these different minerals will turn black in oxidation. I usually use a mixture of manganese and copper in my mineral paint for a good black. One thing to note, if not fully oxidized, both of these minerals can cause unfavorable results. Manganese, if not fully oxidized, will come out brown, and copper, if reduced, will leave a red halo around the design. The third method for getting black designs on pottery is using organic paint. Organic paint is usually made by boiling down some plant material into a thick, sticky syrup and applying that to the pot. Traditionally, Rocky Mountain bee plant was used, but many plants provide the same results. When organic paint is applied to a smectite clay, which is highly absorptive, and fired correctly, it can produce black carbon designs. This method of achieving black designs is the most prone to failure. It requires just the right clay slips and just the right firing atmosphere to get good results. Of the three methods for achieving black designs that I've covered in this video, manganese mineral-based pigment is probably the easiest. One thing you should remember is that mineral paints need to be mixed with about 33% clay so that it will stick to the pot after firing. Now let's talk about where you can get these minerals. A lot of these minerals can be ordered online if you want to go that route. And I'll put some links down in the doobly-doo to where you can order some of these minerals on Amazon. But for the real experience, you should go out and collect your own minerals from nature. Now I've made a video about how to go about finding these minerals in nature, and I'll link that up right over here. So go check that out. Learn how to get out in nature and find these minerals yourself, and then come home and make some beautiful pottery. Thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.